If you're joining us on Zoom, we're discussing potential or proposed cleanup activities at 300 Broad Street here in Bristol. My name is Stephen Perry. I'm an environmental planner with the Naugatuck Council of Governments, and I'll let everyone go around and introduce themselves.
Ricardo Rodriguez, Brownfields Program Director at NPCOG.
Desiree Blanchard, Communications and Community Engagement Coordinator at NBCOGS.
Armin Boyaj with 300 Broad Street Property LLC, the owner of the property.
Paul Ashton, Consulting Engineer.
Jason Fernet, LEP for the project from SLR.
Emily Denyer, Project Manager from SLR.
And Jeff Caggiano, Mayor.
Thank you, everyone. So I'm going to start with a brief introduction of the Naugatuck Valley Council of Governments. You might hear us refer to ourselves as NBCOG. We're a state-established, state-authorized regional planning agency that represents 19 municipalities in West Central Connecticut, ranging from Bristol down to Ansonia, Derby, Shelton. We provide a range of transportation, environmental, and community planning services to our 19 member municipalities. Part of that also involves connecting municipalities and private developers with funding opportunities to remediate contaminated sites, which we call and are known as brownfields. 300 Broad Street is, in this case, a brownfield. So the primary goal of this evening is to provide an overview of the proposed cleanup activities, the strategies, and to have the public ask any questions, express any concerns, and have us hopefully address them. A quick top line summary of the site. It's a shade under 23 acres, consisting of 4 buildings built in stages between 1950 and 1968. They total about 304,000 square feet. Historical use is a variety of manufacturing activities, most notably Tice Precision Steel. It was vacant between 2019 and 2020 after Tice ceased operations, and the current owner, 300 Broad Street Property LLC, acquired it in 2022. Since that time, the site has received approximately $150,000 to conduct a variety of site investigations that resulted in the identification of several areas of concern for contamination associated with its historical use, including petroleum products. These cumulatively pose potential hazards to the public and environmental health. Recently, with support of those environmental assessments and investigations, the Naugatuck Valley Council of Governments, in partnership with the City of Bristol and the ownership group, secured approximately $3.8 million from the Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development to clean up the site, which involves removing and capping contaminated soils and removing or addressing hazardous materials across the property. And contamination can't be present. It has to be removed before the site can return to productive use. And for what that productive use is, I'm going to turn it over to Armin.
So our plan in and thank you for the presentation, and thank you, Mayor Jeff, for being here. Our plan in acquiring this property was to rehabilitate and bring these properties back to a state where they could be rented. We are not users of the property. We are real estate investors and developers, and we saw lots of potential in the in the space of the buildings, in the heights, in the electrical capacity, all kinds of real great assets in these attributes in the buildings, and really, I mean, unfortunately, a lot of deferred maintenance, I'll say, in a nice way, in the buildings that really require attention. But however, in the current market that we're in, if we're able to renovate and improve some of these things, we believe we have really something that's desirable in the market for a host of different potential uses, including industrial uses, warehouse type uses, potential distribution type uses. So there's really, we're open to a lot of different things here. And with the help of NBCOG and the state giving us this grant, we're excited to go ahead and abate and remediate the environmental conditions so that we can get to renovating spaces and getting them rented, bringing jobs back to this property.
So, that kind of concludes the presentation. We have just a few more notes. Written comments for a formal comment period will be accepted through Monday, July 15th. Those can be emailed to Ricardo Rodriguez at the email address on the screen, or mailed to the NVCOG offices at 49 Leavenworth Street, 3rd floor in Waterbury. And we do have a one cleanup document, or one kind of informational document available for review. We have paper copies here. There are some that are preserved at Bristol City Hall, and they will be kept available at the URL on the screen, which you can also access by scanning the QR code. It's an analysis of brownfield cleanup alternatives, and it gives a brief outline of the site history and the determination, the supporting evidence for why the determination has been made to kind of pursue the cleanup strategy. NVCOG is on most social platforms at NVCOG CT. We have a range of interesting and exciting projects across our disciplines, both in Bristol and across our region. So we encourage you to give us a follow. And with that, I will open it up to any questions, either here or virtually. And if you don't have a microphone available, you can always put them in the chat box. Questions going once. Questions going twice.
All right, I got 'em. How long will the cleanup take, approximately?
Defer to SLR.
Depends, it'll be, the abatement of the asbestos could take 3 to 4 months, for all the buildings. And then, but the remediation of the soils and such will be, probably more like a 2-month period. It depends, some things have to be done in certain windows, for certain aspects of the project. So, but yeah, it should be a continuous period of 3 to 4 months overall for the active remediation.
No questions online?
We'll be here till 7 o'clock if anyone joins or has additional questions.
I may take off then too. I'm curious to see who's gonna come. Congratulations on the project, and I'm sure that we'll continue to move things forward. And if you need any support further from us, certainly.
Hi, Dylan, do you have any questions for us?
Have you received any comments this slide?
Not sure if you can hear us.
Dylan, can you hear us?
No questions have been received so far via email. It's gonna stay open until, if I'm not mistaken, the 15th.
Yeah.
So as soon as the 16th comes, you guys have the green light to start the remediation activities, the abatement activities. If no questions come through.
You know, we have the RFPs coming to you, and just a few questions for you. Questions on RFPs, do they come to you or do they come to me?
For questions on the RFP, if there's a regular general question, I'll answer it. If it gets specific with technical, you know, with the bid specs, that's you.
Because originally I said send them to both of us.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, that's perfect.
and then the receipt of the bids sent to
Both
both
of
of
us.
us
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah.
Electronic, you're good with that, or do you?
Yeah, I'm
want
okay with
them
that.
just- You don't want the paper copy as well?
I don't
Okay.
want that.
I just want to make sure.
Environmental science, man. I don't want to, that's, I don't want
Right,
to
so
get into that. I want to keep it as simple as possible.